And if you haven't joined this organization, you need to. Secure Arkansas is also instrumental in setting up a relationship with the National Center of Constitutional Studies so that we may provide curriculum for our public school systems to teach the foundational truths about our U.S. Constitution. September 17th is the anniversary of the signing of our Constitution, and on that day it is required by law that the Constitution be taught to our children. We are no longer going to allow the school districts in this state to skid by on this important issue. Of the curriculum at home. If you'd like one, please find me. I'll take down your name and address and send it to you so you can take it to your school board and demand that that curriculum be taught on September the 17th. Over the past 12 months, have you caught yourself wondering what's happening to my country? Or how about this one? Are our federal and state officials total nincompoops? Or is it something more than that? More sinister? But that couldn't happen in this country, right? I mean, we're the home of the free and the brave, right? Who in their right minds would give up freedom or the right to become whoever God, our Creator, the giver of all human rights, created them to be? Who would give that up? Not me. I mean, you'd have to be absolutely crazy to give up your right to determine your own destiny for a pittance that consisted of substandard housing, monthly humiliation at the local DHS office to receive assistance, or worse yet, an inferior education, right? Right. And yet our government officials have systematically worked and schemed to convince nearly half of our citizens that they are going to take care of them and that they are owed the fruits of labor from the rich, the greedy corporations, and now those evil insurance companies. While all along it is they who are rich off our backs. They who are greedy, and dare I say it? Yes, evil. It is our elected officials, the ones who are supposed to work for us, who don't pay their taxes while they pass tax policies that milk the mortgage deals while the rest of us pay higher and higher interest rates, and who garner the Cadillac health benefit insurances, health insurance benefits and retirement plans, while they plan to put our people on a public auction. Oh, excuse me, I mean co-op. And who, after serving only 2 terms, receive their annual salary for the rest of their lives. While we pay into the Social Security Ponzi scheme so we can get 30% of our annual salaries when we retire. Why is it that their health care benefit and retirement plans are so much better than ours? So the real question is, who are the real nincompoops here? We the people, or the elected officials who stay in office until the cobwebs not only gather about them, but in their minds as well? How did we come to this point in the history of our country? I have spent the last 20 years putting the pieces of this puzzle together. This just didn't happen once Obama was elected. No. We have to go back over 100 years ago to the year 1905 when a group of truly greedy, evil corporate moguls, global bankers, and a very powerful senator secretly met together on a small island off Georgia called Jekyll Island. You need to get the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, and read it for yourself. And they hatched a plan to subvert the Constitution and the American way of life. Just a few short years later, in 1912, they were successful in getting elected our first progressive president, Woodrow Wilson. Within the first 2 months of his presidency, he was able to push through the 16th Amendment, which initiated the income tax, the 17th Amendment, which changed the way we elected senators from appointment by state legislators to populist vote, and the passage of the Federal Reserve Act, in which Congress abdicated their authority to coin money and chose to set up a private corporation which today has evolved into nothing more than professional counterfeiters in the creation of fiat money. Our Congress not only abdicated their authority to coin money in this act, but their oversight authority as well. It's time to change that. Demand that the books of the Federal Reserve Bank be opened to an audit. I want you to pound Barney Frank until he passes H.R. 1207 out of the Finance Committee. We have 300 co-sponsors of this bill, enough to pass it. You need to pound him until he is flat as a pancake. As a result of this scheme, almost 20 years later, our nation found itself in the depths of a great economic depression, and with another progressive president at the helm, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. History now tells us that it was his progressive fiscal policies that caused the Depression to deepen even further, to the point that unemployment increased to almost 25% and nearly caused the first socialist revolution, causing the Depression to last 7 more years longer than it should have. Do we not see similarities today? Especially with the radical revolutionaries and known communists around Barack Obama. Even today, we still feel the effects of FDR's social policies and Social Security, the biggest Ponzi scheme ever in the history of the world. Why do I call it a Ponzi scheme? Well, when you keep paying into a system with never realizing a benefit until you're almost in the grave, isn't that what you call it? The reason why Social Security will be insolvent in 2 years, according to Senator Max Baucus, is not just because Congress has been dipping into the trust fund for more than 70 years, but because the plan was flawed in the first place. When Social Security was devised, the life expectancy at the time was 63 years. What they thought was, there will be younger workers paying into the system, people will die off at 63, the fund will be built up. But they kept dipping into the fund. And then, today, life expectancy is 77 years. Thanks to the most innovative healthcare